How beings from another world saved my wife's life. Account of an extraordinary experience. Mr. Fernando's account of the first extraordinary experience he had with his wife, Catherine, claims to be completely true. Catherine was born in 1981 in Belarus. She began studying at the University of Minsk, and she wanted to be a teacher because she enjoyed working with children. In the afternoon, she worked with a grocery store and was very shy. Was a very shy person. She did not care about the boys or alcohol. Did not go to the disco. Was only interested in her studies, and only her best friend took her with him to various private parties. One day, without remembering how, she realized that she must have been something must have happened to her, where at the same time she had pains all over her body, not suffering, and could not understand how things happened and what caused this for pain onto her. Now, at some point, her best friend would go to Germany and suggest that she go with him to a German family where she could have her own room and sleep, eat, and all she had to do was to take care of the children of the family and to assist in the housewife and household chores. So she could earn money and to send to her mother, but also go to school and learn German. Catherine was very happy with the proposal, and a week later, in December 2004, she arrived in Germany, where the German family was waiting for her. In the process, however, she found that in reality everything was a trap of a well-established organization of different nationalities, making false prophecies to young girls. And later, her best friend brought her to a bistro, yes, like a type of restaurant. It was weird because she said I was invited to a birthday party and had already brought my gift. When I entered the store, my feet led me to where Catherine was without knowing why. And she was alone, the man said. She did not talk to anyone. She did not laugh, while any smile that happened to appear in combination with her beautiful blue eyes showed a disappointment of life, as if there will be no continuation. However, I could tell she was a very good person. He said I introduced myself to her, and she looked at me in surprise. She smiled at me and told me her name, and for some reason I had the feeling that I knew her, that I had to protect her, but I did not know why. Through a short discussion of 10 minutes, I realized that I proposed to her, which is unprecedented for me because I had never proposed to any other woman. She told me that it was not possible, that she could not be with me, and that her best friend appeared. That's when her best friend appeared, best friend, quote unquote, who was actually the worst he could be, she could choose, as he treated her as if he owned her. And he separated us. When I turned to leave the bistro, two non-German men were standing in front of me. One was big like a closet, and he told me if I did not want to hurt someone, not to approach the girl again. I started to worry about Catherine, and I thought that it would be best to look for her, to stay with her, but suddenly I felt joy all over my body as something inside me. It was like a voice telling me not to worry, and that I would make sure to follow my path, recognize who I am. It was a voice that I knew inside me and that accompanied me since I was little, and whenever I heard it, many times in my life, it calmed me down. It could be, his guardian angel. But anyway, let's go on with this. I liked this girl, and I proposed. The proposal I made to her, even though I only knew her for almost 10 minutes, was something inconceivable. I had not said such a thing to any other woman, and I thought I would like to marry her, and I told her. I also wondered how, if my wish really came true and Catherine became my wife, how she would see all the weird things happening next to me and around me, and how I could explain to her that these things that often come to me are and why I disappear many times for a few hours, and who I really am and why I'm here, and that I lived between two worlds. I did not know how to explain this. Because of all this, I prefer to live and be alone as a child because I was used to a different life from other people. The next day we contacted and told, we had regularly contacts by phone, the number I had already given her since the first meeting. And in the middle of the story, she told me her story without the basic details. So I told her that her life was hers and that she had the right to choose who she wanted to be with, but it seemed that she had no right and that she had no private life, seemed to be under control, and didn't know or could not imagine what danger she was in, but she had the feeling that I have not been doing well since that day. Now, not to mention, after a lot, I gave her the key to my house to come whenever she wants, and when she needed something to tell me, and give it to her without consideration because I wanted her to be well and happy. I decided to always be with her, by her side, although I also knew that these beings protected her and had become her friends. I was also sure that the day would come when for everything that remained invisible would come to light, and so we would start living together. Over time, Catherine felt more and more secure. She had started to live and smile, and her blue eyes, which started to come alive again, gave her a new face, and she could study, and thus she enrolled into the University of Cologne. I explained to her that when one door opens, another closes, and that I always keep my word. If she wanted us to get married, that she will always have a place where she'd always feel safe and she will never be alone. She will have all the rights that I have. We went to the police to file a complaint against the circuit, but we had no evidence, and we knew that none of these criminals would tell the truth. But how could we explain to the police the strange things happening around her, and that the only witnesses that existed were beings from other worlds? And so, thus these beings who see and know everything began to punish those responsible and take people back onto their own hands. But we don't know how many girls went through this road and disappeared. However, these creatures saved Catherine's life, and this specific organization of criminal beasts no longer exists. Catherine confessed to me that after living and feeling many wonderful things, she now knew that, thanks to me and these beings, she could live free and safe and be happy. Today, she is sure that our meeting in that bistro could not have been accidental, and from that day, these beings began to be by her side to take care of her and protect her from all these beasts that wanted to harm her. They gave her the opportunity to live a new life, and today she can live free, safe, and happy. And this is translated for you from a Greek article. Please leave your comments. Thank you for your support. Kindly support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support, and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.